So, did you turn into your parents? Hey fam, welcome to Shavon JTV. If you are new here, this channel highlights family, health, and wellness, and a little sprinkle of travel. March, National Women's History Month. I am honoring my aunts with segments called Shavon, Conversations with Shavon and her Aunties. So, if you've been following along with us, we have been talking about various topics each week in honor of National Women's History Month. And so this week, we are going to be talking about motherhood because all of them are mothers here. I'm a mother. And I was about to say new mom, but should I not so new no more? Should I make this two now? So I'm a mother. So, and I've honestly learned motherhood through these women. So motherhood, that's what we're talking about today. Make sure you like and share this video and subscribe to Shavon JTV. If you missed some of our conversations, don't worry, I'm going to link them in the cards above. I'm not sure which side it's going to be on, but you will be able to click on the cards to be able to see our previous conversations. So let's jump right on in. How y'all doing? Good. Look, we've been here. Okay, so you see we got on the same clothes. Okay. So we've been here. So, but we having a good time. Motherhood. So let's jump into this question. What would you have done differently in regard to raising your child or children? Is there something you would have done differently?
I know I wouldn't have been as hard on my son because I parented the way I was parented. So my mom was hard in terms of gotta make A's, all A's. B's were unacceptable. And so I passed that on to my child. And when he became 21 and grown, he let me know how that made him feel. So I had to spend a day of apologizing for what that made him feel like. So I wouldn't have been as hard on him in terms of trying to make him an A student. I remember one time he said, and he remembers this, so at 21 years old, he remembered something I did to him in 4th grade. And he remembers that he had all A's and a B. And he said, what I did not do, I didn't say, congratulations on your all A's. He said, Mom, what you went right to was, why wasn't that B and A? And he said that made him feel like nothing he was going to ever do was going to be good enough with me. So I would have changed that about me.
Yeah. Ooh. That's real good. Anybody else?
For me, being a young mom and a teen mom, my mom was older when she had me, so I believe that she probably was good at time.
Oh yeah.
She had me at 44 and had other children, so she probably was tired.
Yeah, she was tired.
Bless her heart. So she did the best she could raising me, you know. But by the time I got pregnant and had my twins, it was stuff that had gone on, or I, thought maybe I didn't like, or maybe I can do this different. So at 17, I knew that wisdom was having her perfect work in my life. With this is what you need to do with the twins. Do this with them now. Do this, and it went on from pre-K, 3 years old, till they graduated high school. That I knew that structure had to be there. Thank God for my mom being there you know, the structure was set, the foundation was set, you know, with them, you know, being good students and things like that. So I'm not regretful of anything that happened in my motherhood with the twins. Now, on the other hand, having a girl baby 14 years later, not that I was tired, but I was older, but there was no structure. So
you got relaxed.
yeah, I got relaxed, and Maya got away with a lot of stuff, you know. So she had allergies and eczema, asthma.
She didn't have to
stuff,
clean the bathroom because the spray might affect her allergies.
Yeah. So Maya didn't have the structure that she needed. The foundation was there, but it was way too much stuff that she got away with that has run over into her young adulthood. Even, you know, like I said in the previous recording with school, you know, that'll do, you know, whereas with Shavon and Jerry, you know, it was like, no, y'all need to do this, you know, you need to have an A, you need to do this, and with Maya, it was like, oh, you know, that'll do, and I went with that'll do too, you know, and so in my parenting and in my motherhood, I definitely, if I had to redo anything, I would have had the same firmness that I had with the twins that I should have had, you know, with Maya.
And it's funny that you say that because a lot of women that I talk to, well, that are older, and or let's just say a lot of my friends who happen to have younger siblings say the same thing about their parents. That, oh, my mama was way easier on such and such than they were with me. And I do think that naturally, like, parents just be like, who child?
Yeah.
Okay, just don't come back here bleeding and stuff like you know, be alive, like be well, dress yourself right, you know what I mean? They get a little tired. It's like that commercial, you know, the first baby, where they doing all these things and you know, being real particular, and then that last child, the mama putting them in the shower with daddy, here you go. You know what I mean? It's like that.
Would say the same thing about me, about Deborah. Say, yeah, because if that would have been us, ooh, what you would have done to us, you Deborah get away. Deborah used to get away with a lot of stuff. I said, well, no. But, yeah, I would have been hard on her.
Oh, right. So did you turn into your parents or your parent?
Yes.
Yeah.
Someone, I became my mama.
Yeah. I don't think I did. I don't think I did.
Nah. All the daughters of Bessie, they not telling the truth at this Then I know. So my grandmother, her name is Bessie. Rest in peace, Grandma. Mama, Auntie Glenn, and Auntie Ba are Bessie Pearl Watkins in some way, shape, or form. They are her. And it may not be her in fullness, like, you know what I'm saying? And I remember at Grandma's funeral, it was beautiful. When the funeral home, after that end poem that they did about her going away, but we're carrying her spirit, one of those threes, carrying the spirit of Bessie Pearl Watkins, you hear me? And so, as far as parenting, I do see Grandma in all of them, because Grandma was, she had this nice balance, you know what I mean, from her grandchild's perspective. And you know how it shifts when, you know, people and grandchildren shift. Or people and how they are with their children and grandchildren are different. You know, grandma was everybody's mama. So my cousins, all of us call her mama, including her children. We all call her mama. She cooked well. She kept a clean house. She worked until she didn't anymore. You know, she prayed for you, made you cake. You know, and so even my uncle, like all of them share more different pieces from her, and in parenting, my grandmama was very nurturing, but she was also very stern. So it's like a sweet and sour, like, you know, like, you know, it's a sweet and sour. But she was also, when she got older, it like she went through this point of, now I'm gonna tell you that this ain't what you need to be doing. She's gonna tell you this not what you need to be doing. And then when she started to, cause I think now that I'm looking at stuff differently, especially like spiritually, I felt like I knew when grandma was about to transition. And so when she was, you know, going over that on that side, you know, to go to glory, as the old people say, she became very much, oh, you boo boo. Call me though, and we're gonna talk, we're gonna laugh, you can tell me anything, but do you, because at this point, you know, and at this point, I did what I was gonna do. And so I found my mom a lot, and so I would say it was a little bit more relaxed. And so my mama is very relaxed, like, you know what I mean? So they all carry her. Like,
Can you elaborate on that? How relaxed? I mean, like, what do you mean?
like it's like well, I raised you, so you know. You know what you should be doing and what you shouldn't be doing. Nah. Do you, boo boo? So did you turn into your parents? That's true. Shame the devil.
I did shame the devil. I was really, I believe, too stern, because my mom was very stern. I'm the oldest of 5, and I was a very stern, strict person. That what I knew, that's what I did. And now I feel that I've gone back and apologized to my children that I should have done some things much differently, a little bit more lenient than what I was. But I was a very stern person, very regimented.
I remember sometimes we would go to Auntie Sharon's house. She made some, I don't know, you made some good fish one day. I remember that. At your house. That fish was so good. I remember that though. But it was very, we had fun still. But you don't be too wild. You know. Because sometimes at 536, 52nd Street, we kind of
Anything goes.
it was like, yeah, we was outside. We was playing, boy. Inside, outside. But Auntie Sharon, she was like, So, do you guys feel like sometimes parents get it wrong?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And so, you know, are there things like, because I think now that I am a parent, and I'm a parent in a situation, or I should say in a way that I didn't think I was going to be a parent, I kind of found myself becoming very like, I be like in like self-aware in the moment. So if Shaddai does something, my first reaction is like, and then I'm like, whoa, like, you know what I mean? And sometimes she'll look at me like, girl, you don't talk to me like that. you know what I mean? Like, oh, you don't do that, mommy. So, and I'm like, Shaddai, sorry for yelling, but girl, what are you doing? You know what I mean? And then she'll respond, mommy, I'm sorry. And I'm like, just don't do that. We just want you to be safe. So like I'm becoming not so prideful, I guess. And I'm seeing the mistakes in the moment. You know what I mean? Especially with a child that pop don't faze them. At all. Shaddai, I don't know. She just built different. And I think
every day. Every day.
Did you cry?
Yep. And got another one the next day.
I see you was bad.
Wouldn't come home from school.
Oh.
Wouldn't come home from school.
Oh, you some of that friends house of playing.
Chat with friends.
That's what Kelvin said.
I'll be
He
looking
said,
for
I
me
would
and
say,
I'm somebody else's
why
house.
don't she just do the right thing? She know mama gonna beat her.
Yeah, yeah,
And I will do what I want to do.
yeah. I tried to
And
get
get
Mickey
to be.
Mickey wasn't, you know.
No, Mickey wasn't.
He said he going home.
Mickey be home for the street like that. He wouldn't go with
He
me.
compliant.
Yeah.
And to continue the conversation, I know my mom and I have had some really God ordained conversations, you know, in the past. Since I've been home, since 2012, that was like much needed that parents, because I'm going back to, you know, the pridefulness, you know, sometimes parents don't feel like, take the pressure off parents, but people don't feel like they need to apologize for anything. Like, you know what I mean? Especially if it's their child, you know. A homegirl of mine just made a Facebook post that said, everybody's grown until it's time to apologize. It said something else, but I remember everybody grown until it's time to apologize. You know, because it is National Women's History Month. And like this video, subscribe, y'all. We as women kind of overlook ourselves. But if we pay more attention, because we feel guilty. Well, the thing is, if we gave ourselves that self-care and that time alone with God, just to be doing nothing, you know, that does make us a better person for the ones that we have to take care of every day. So what's the most valuable aspect of motherhood?
For me, I think it may be knowing that you raise your children the best way that you know how to, you know, because I raised my two sons as a single parent. And to know that both of them are successful, you know, and they have families of their own. And just, I guess just knowing that you did the best you could as a single parent on how to raise your children. I have two sons, on how to raise your kids, and, you know, prayerfully, hopefully, they turn out okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think for me,
You did the best you could.
Right, right,
I think for me it's important that I have a relationship with my children,
right.
with them being adults, you know, and I do believe looking back, I could have definitely done some things differently, not in the sense of nurturing, because I nurtured them, but I think that I didn't allow them to be independent as children. And when they were trying to be independent, and they say like making their beds, I just got to sing about making beds, have it my way, and it didn't have to be my way. Their way was good enough, and I do believe that when they did it, and I would go back after that, I would let them do it, but when they went off to school, I'd go back and change it. But understanding when they came home, they noticed the change and what that must have said to them. Mama didn't think I did it well enough, you know. So when a person keeps coming behind you, changing something, then you either decide, well, either they don't like it the way I do it, I'm just not gonna do it, or you just simply make a mess of it so they won't ever ask you to do it again, you know. But, you know, if I just had allowed them to do what they thought was best for them at that time, and there was really nothing wrong with it, because understanding my way is not the only way to do it. So, and that piece you talked about apologizing, yeah, I've done that. It's necessary, it is, in order for you to go back to that part about having a relationship with your children.
I've had to do that too with the twins. And I think maybe even with Amaya, but definitely on several occasions, going back to Spencer, aka Jerry, and Shavon, you know, I apologize, you know, if I missed it in this area, I apologize if I said this or said that or made you feel this, you know, type of way. I've done that to make sure my heart right and make sure they heart right with me. Because some parents, you know, like we said, they don't ever go back or feel the need. I did what I did and it's whatever and so on and so forth. But them children, you know, even adult children, I need an apology. Why did you let this happen? Why this happened to me? Over and over. Why you felt that this was okay? You know, it wasn't okay. Oh, apologize. Say I'm sorry.
And I think a lot of times when because I'm a parent now, I think in overlooking the apology, or the fact that you may need one, or you know what I'm saying, or overlooking the conversation that you need to have with your parent, sometimes is not really taken into much consideration as an adult. And so when that happens, if you become self-aware and going through therapy, thank you to my therapy, going through therapy, you don't really get to see the patterns that you have because of things that have happened. But once you start to have those conversations and knock down those walls, you're like, oh, this is why I do this. This is why I do it. You start to have those conversations with your parents or who you need to have conversations with. You begin to have your own healing. And healing doesn't always mean that trauma happened.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And trauma doesn't always look like what we think it is. Like, you know, it looks like. So that's good stuff. That's good. If you are liking this conversation, make sure you like and share, okay, this stuff. Y'all, this is good stuff, okay? So like this video, share it, subscribe to my channel, Shavon JTV. Most valuable aspect of motherhood. So we said relationship. I love that, understanding that it doesn't have to be my way. I remember growing up with my mama. Ooh, I had a slip mouth. I still do. God helping me. He helping me with that slick old mouth. But it's more so on my head. Anyway, so a lot of times, it made me think of Auntie Pam. A lot of times, I know still to this day what my mama like. A clean house. So I would clean everything, spick and span, up and down, shiny thing. When she walked in, she knew. She was like, where do you want to go?
Right.
Because I knew what she liked and what had to be done before I go. Now, my brother and my sister do not care. No, let me not say that. I'm not gonna say that. They just they just aren't as mindful about some things, but I know that, and you know, my brother, he's older, so he knows if he's visiting, he's like, oh, let me clean up, you know, up the kitchen before mama get here. Let me take out the trash, like, you know. But they're a little bit more lax. Whereas me, even if I have worked all day, working from home, and I gotta go pick up Shaddai, I'm like, dang, I know how I want to walk into a house because I am a little bit my mama's child. Like, so I'm like, let me try to do this. Like, you know what I'm saying? But sometimes she'll be recognizing it, and I'll be wanting to tell her to tell me thank you. Thank you. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you for doing the front half of the back. You don't do the back half. Thank you for doing the front half of the back.
And so that's the point that I'm getting to. So when I was younger, I would have to clean. It was my turn to clean the bathtub. I, to this day, don't like cleaning the bathtub because I feel like I don't clean it right. Because my mama would be like, ooh, it look like you did nothing. Right. She still say that too. She still say that. She don't really say it to me, but let somebody say they swept.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, you don't look like it. You know. And so, but as you know, growing up, that was my thing. I don't know about the tub. Like, it just wore me out. You know, when so I don't do it. I do not do it.
That was a start.
I do not do it. Look, Maida, she got allergies.
allergies.
She got allergies.
She got
eczema.
So she can't touch the
So
camera.
thank you guys for tuning in and watching this whole video about motherhood and conversations with Shavon and her aunties. Look, it's been great. We're going to wrap this up. If you like this video, make sure you click that thumbs up button, subscribe, and click the bell for notifications. And we will see you later.
Bye.